Hello everyone, it's Chris with Expat Theory. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Appreciate you being here. Wanted to kind of do a quick video today, just to talk about some of the things I'm hearing and seeing online. Just a couple of the trends, I guess. One of the things that's kind of got me a little confused, I'm seeing a number of videos popping up about people trying to buy houses over in Asia. I'm not sure if maybe they didn't do the digging, they don't understand the laws, or I don't know, maybe they're more willing to put themselves at risk than I am. But most of the Asian countries, as far as I have found, it is illegal for a foreigner to own land. So it's kind of being marketed with this really long 30-year lease that's renewable like 3 times or something, up to 90 years or something, so that you lease the land and then build your house on that land that you're leasing. And I guess they try to make it sound like you are protected by the leasing rights and all that. But you know what? No. That to me is dumb. There's no way in the world I'm going to drop tens of thousands of dollars into building a home on a piece of property that I don't own. There are so many loopholes, and it's a whole bag of monkeys that I don't think I'd want to mess with. And you know, the legal system is not going to be on your side. It's going to definitely favor the local. You could spend all your money on building this house, and then they turn right around and take it from you by reclaiming the land and voiding your lease, and you're SOL. Not doing it. Not doing it. I've had thoughts about, and I still kick it around about possibly purchasing a condo. With a condo, it's a little bit different because you're purchasing the unit that's in a building that's sitting on land that's owned by local or owned by a citizen of that country. So you can purchase a condo and own it. And again, you're a little bit better off because you actually own that space, not really the lease agreement. It's an ownership deal. So you're a little more protected by law. But I still come down to some issues with that, because most of these condos, you know, depending on what you're looking at, you can rock bottom get around $35,000, $50,000 to $75,000. You're going to get something good. And if you were to buy something like that, it's yours, you own it. But when it comes time to try to sell it, you got to find a buyer. And your locals, they can't afford that. They're not on an income scale like we are. So you can forget a local buyer unless it's somebody who's actually a well-to-do property management company, or somebody who does real estate and has that kind of money. That's a very small part of the population that you're dealing with. And they're going to know that you're going to be struggling to sell. So they're going to be looking to get it for, you know, super cheap. You know, pennies on the dollar kind of thing, just to get you out from under it. So if you drop a bunch of money onto a nice condo, you're going to probably take a pretty good loss when it comes time to sell it. You're going to have to try to find a foreigner who's wanting to go there to buy your condo. And, you might get your money back out of it. Hell, the economy turns around over there. You might be able to make a little bit of a profit out of it. Who knows? But it's still kind of an iffy thing. So I haven't committed to that at all. It's still a thought that I'm thinking of. It's still something that's a possibility. Um, because what it does do is it pretty much eliminates your rent. You do have, your condo fees that you'll pay every year, for upkeep and maintenance and all that good stuff. Plus you have to pay for your own repairs because it's yours. You own it. So if something goes wrong with the plumbing, you got to call a plumber and have them come out or electrician, have them come out and fix it and pay for all that. Yeah, that's out of your own pocket. It's your property. But because it's also a condo, think about it like here too. It's still going to have to be, the repairs and any work done is going to have to be approved to the standard of the building. So it's going to be a pain in the butt. It's just like being here and getting involved with a damn condo or an HOA. You're still going to have to deal with people telling you what you can and can't do with your property. So it is kind of a pain in the butt. And it can be a legal thing if, you don't jive with them and don't do what they want you to do and you just go your own way. So you could end up with a whole bunch of headaches and problems with it. So it's, like I said, it's an idea, but it's not something I'm completely sold on. I'm almost thinking for myself, just renting. Not only that, for me, I might move around a little bit until I find someplace that I really, really, really like. And then I'll call that home base. And I'll maybe look into getting a long-term lease. I might stay 6 months to a year at most. I'll probably be looking for 6 months lease at first. Hell, for a while, I might be just doing Airbnb month at a time. But I may get into an area that I kind of like. I want to stay a little longer. I might get a 6 month lease or a year lease if I really like it. And kind of go from there. I want to be more mobile, and I might get bored. I might be in one area for a while and I might get just burned out with that particular area. Go somewhere else. Find another place. So in the process of all this, I know that I'm going to have to do a lot more research when I get over there about, how to find good places, how to get good bargains, how to rent, the ins and outs of the local deal. I've rented here a few times, so it's not like completely foreign, but being in a foreign country, there's always going to be differences, So yeah, I'm completely ruling out any chance of taking a massive hit by trying to lease a property and build a house. Nah, not for me. Not only that, generally when that scenario comes up, you're looking at being out and away from town a fairly good distance to buy a good piece of property and build you a house in the quiet neighborhood somewhere and all that. And especially at first, I'm thinking I want a little more liveliness in where I'm staying. I want to kind of be a little closer into town, enjoy the perks of town living a little bit more so than being out and about in the boonies with a nice house. I think I'd just rather have a nice little apartment close to where everything is so I can take a short trip or walk to where I want to be. At least at first, as I get over there and get situated and settled and figure things out, that might change. But I know the hunger and the passion in me is to do some traveling around. So I don't know that I'm going to get locked into anything right off the bat. And the second thing I'm hearing, and I'm seeing trends for Asia starting to drop a little bit. It seems like the current trends for retiring and expats are looking hardcore at South America, which is a bit of a shift. Um, Asia has always kind of come in just above South America. A number of different locations within Asia have kind of always been in the top ranked spots of places that people are retiring to. But in the last few videos that I've been watching, I've noticed a definite shift away from like Vietnam, Cambodia, and the Philippines, and more towards Colombia, Nicaragua, Argentina, Ecuador, and Panama. So, kind of wondering about that, kind of wondering about how that trend is coming about. It makes me kind of wonder when I was mentioning in previous videos about, when I'm hearing about the prices coming up a little bit in Asia, that might be kicking it. They might be putting themselves on a similar price scale as South America, so they kind of losing their edge of being cheaper than, and we're starting to see a shift more so towards South America. And I did watch a really good video. I'm not really thinking about Thailand as they're in the mix. They're in the top 5, but they're not one of my major destinations for home base. They're definitely on my list for visiting and traveling. But I did see a great video that a guy did, a complete breakdown of cost of living for Bangkok, Thailand. And he broke it down really nice to where there was if you wanted to live kind of more on the low end, or if you wanted to live in the middle or high end, and kind of what he gave it enough information where you could kind of pick, well, for these things I'm going to be low end, but for that I'm going to be in the middle, and over here, yeah, that's something I really want, so that's going to be high end. And you could kind of balance out and figure out about what you're going to spend for cost of living. And it's easy if you really wanted to get into a really nice area, live in a nice place, and all of this in Bangkok in the hot area, where you want to be, it's the hot spot. Really nice, live like a king kind of thing. You're going to run about $3,000 a month. That's not really frugal living, you know what I'm saying? But the living standard versus what you would get for $3,000 here in the States, oh my gosh, completely night and day. But for somebody who's looking for the cheap, and living and saving money and, living a quality lifestyle at a lesser price than what you're paying here in the States, that wasn't it. The high end wasn't it. But the middle ground was nice. $1,500-1,700 a month for everything, and you're still living really good. The low end was down, actually, $1,000 or less. But you're not really living real nice. You're kind of living blah, And I kind of do want to live a little bit nicer than what I'm used to. So I was figuring somewhere $1,200-1,500 if I were to go to Thailand would be what I'd be targeting at least. Which is still so much cheaper. I mean, I can't even tell you. I mean, you guys know. How many people do you know are paying $1,000 a month more for their rent or mortgage? Another $500, and you've got all of your bills paid for, including health insurance overseas in a foreign destination where you're going to live a life that you would never live here. And you're going to see and do things that you would never see and do here. So by the time you throw in your car payment and your insurance, you're already at the same price. And that's over there. You're not getting a car, but that's paying all of your bills, everything. But anyway, the idea of South America jumping up, that was kind of a shocker to me a little bit. My best bud and I have talked about Ecuador, Manta, Ecuador especially, and then I guess the capital city is like Cuenca or whatever. It's got some nice areas. There's a couple of different towns over there, but I was really kind of shocked to hear, of course, Peru pops up sometimes. Argentina pops up frequently. Colombia and Panama. Panama kind of being the lesser of the group. It's tied to the US dollar. It's cheaper than here, but you're not getting as good of a bargain. You can get a better bargain if you go to Argentina, Ecuador, Peru, Colombia. And of course, a lot of Americans still have the older generation, especially. We have our memories of Colombia and Nicaragua being really, really bad and not safe. But y'all got to remember, that was like 40 years ago. Things have changed. It's not the same anymore. So things have really settled down there. And they have a very thriving lifestyle, and everything's beautiful down there. You can find some really nice places. So it does give you pause to consider it, because South America is beautiful. It's got great weather. It's warm. It's depending on where you go, you can be near the mountains and be cold, or you can be down by the beaches and be hot. Have the beach bum lifestyle. Just depends on what you want and what you like. It's there. You can find it. So anyway, that's what I just want to talk about, mention out, and I figured I'd talk more about, the expat end, because I know I've been doing a lot of content lately about the trucking end. And I'll just say, for right now, currently I'm on track financially. Still got a lot of work there to do, but I'm on track for this year so far. I guess that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. If you got any questions or comments or whatever, drop them down below. If you know anybody who's interested in this kind of content, please share it to them. If you haven't already, hit the like, subscribe, and the bell, and all that good stuff. Don't get me wrong, I am not trying to push to get monetized or anything like that. But it is nice to know people watch, and if you got any questions or comments or whatever that are keep them sane. I've had a couple of people come in and just say silly things, and I just kind of delete them out, because I'm not going to tolerate a bunch of garbage. But if you got anything for me, or I try to get back to everybody that makes comment. At least either like what you said, because I may agree with you and just hit the like button, or if I have something to add, or if I disagree or whatever, I'll respond to you. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna close that out there. I'll see y'all in the next video.